Hey guys, it's me CriticalCubing, and today I will show you how I set up my GANS version 2. The GANS setup is pretty similar to the other setup videos that I have done. The only difference is the way you lube the core. I will be going a bit fast in this video, so if you didn't understand anything, please take a look at my other setup videos like the Yasha setup, Oolong version 2 setup, etc. Anyway, when starting, you will of course need your cube, the tensioning tool that comes with the cube, your lube bottle and a towel for wiping the pieces. Generally, I would just wash the pieces to get a clean wash and make the pieces 100% lube free. But the GANS version 2 has lots of screws in the pieces also. Now if you want to do the wash with soap and water method, you have to unscrew all of these screws, which is kind of a hassle and takes too long. So I just take a towel and wipe the pieces. First off, you have to disassemble the cube. For normal cubes, I just unscrew the center pieces and then dissect it completely. With the GANS, unlike normal cubes, I don't disassemble it completely. I just take out all of the pieces, leaving the core as it is. Now depending on the tensions, you might have to loosen them. Once you have all of the pieces out, you can keep the core aside for now and start cleaning the pieces. I start with a corner piece and gently clean the sides, rotating the piece with my left hand. After that, I clean the white base while gently rotating the piece with my left hand. Now comes the edge piece. I follow the same method like how I did with the corner. First I wipe the side of the edge clean while moving the piece with my left hand, and then I go and clean the white base of the edge piece the same way. Now clean all of the other pieces and then we will start cleaning the core. For the core, I just clean the sides and don't disassemble it completely like I generally do. Once you're done with cleaning, we can start assembling the cube. Now GANS assembly can be frustrating because of how tight the core is. Anyway, we start off by inserting the edge piece. For inserting it smoothly, I hold one of the center pieces with my thumb so as to pull it up, while I support the other center pieces with my other fingers. Now that we have a gap, the edge piece can go in easily. Using the same process, insert an adjacent edge piece. Make sure to be gentle, otherwise the edge piece will just pop out. Now insert the common colored corner that both the edge pieces have. In here I hold the other two edge pieces so that they don't pop out while I insert the corner. Lastly, we insert another edge piece so that we can create a 2x2 block. Now that we have created this block, the piece will stay together and prevent popping out. Continue building your blocks. Now we just build the adjacent side so as to make a 2x3 block. I place another adjacent piece and then put in the common corner and then the last common edge. And you are done with your 2x3 block. Lastly, put in the last edge piece so as to complete your cross and then put in both of the corners. Be gentle and cautious so as to prevent popping. Now instead of putting both of the common edge pieces, put only one of them in. Once you are done, get your lube bottle and put a little bit of lube on the corner piece. Once you are done lubing the corner piece, you can put the edge back in. Now if you want a fast cube, then put in a little bit of lube. The lube I am using is Traxxas 50K, which makes the cube controllable and smooth. However, for fast cubers, 50K will make it slow. So if you have 30K lying around, use that. Or you can also use weight 1. You take the diagonally opposite edge out and do the same process on that corner as well. Apply a little bit of lube on the corner and then put the edge back in. Continue building the top layer. Be gentle, otherwise the cube will pop, raining over your hard work. For building the top layer, I start by putting in two opposite edges. I got a bit lucky, otherwise my cube was on the verge of popping. After you have the two opposite edges, you put in all of the corners. Now get your lube bottle and apply a tiny bit of lube on the white corner base of both of the corners. You can't really see that much clearly, but I didn't apply a lot of lube. You can also apply 30K or weight 1 for making the cube fast instead of 50K. Once done, put in the last edge piece back in. Now that you are done with lubing the pieces, move the cube around so you can spread the lube around the cube. Now you may ask,
Hey Critical, we didn't lube the core and yet we have assembled the core. Are you a special kind of stupid?
Nope. Unlike the normal speed cubes, they have the screw inside the centerpiece. With the GANS cubes, you have it on the outside, so it doesn't matter if you lube the core after assembling or before assembling. Now lubing the core is a big hassle, and honestly, if you feel that your cube is working fine, then you can skip this step entirely. I generally don't lube the core because of how much tricky and time consuming it is. Anyway, in the GANS core, the only place where you can find friction is in between the spring and the washer. So for lubing the core, you have to take out the plastic nut covering the washer and apply lube to the washer. Step 1 would be to take out the plastic nut. Grab your tensioning tool and unscrew the nut out. The nut should generally stick inside the tensioning tool. If not, then put the nut back inside the tensioning tool. Now if you are confused which side to place the washer on, a washer will have a shiny side and a dull side, or a side that has rings on it. When placing the washer inside the tensioning tool, you have to make sure to keep the dull side on the top or the side that has the rings on it on the top. So when you put the washer and the nut in, the washer goes in properly. Once you have the washer inside the tensioning tool, apply a dab of lube on the washer and cap your lube bottle. Now comes the tricky part. Hold your tensioning tool in a 45-degree angle and your cube also in a 45-degree angle. In a quick jiff, place the tensioning tool over the top of the spring, so you have the washer and nut over the screw ready to be tensioned. Now here, if you are on a smooth surface, you can just rotate the cube with your left hand to make the nut go inside the screw properly. Otherwise, you have to use a right hand to put the nut inside properly. Once you have the nut in, make sure that you didn't put it inside crooked, otherwise you have to redo it again. Also, when you are doing the last step, sometimes you will fail and the washer will fall inside the centerpiece or sometimes inside the gap of the cube. And well, my condolences. But you have to redo the step once more. This is why I said that lubing the core is a hassle and time consuming, as you are bound to fail. If you want to continue, do the same for all of the remaining centerpieces. Once you are done, you have finished lubing the core and are just left with tensioning. The thing I forgot to mention was that when you are lubing the core, tension the nut in such a way so you have the screw surface and the nut surface completely flat. If you feel a screw poking your finger, loosen the nut to make the surface flat. If you don't feel the poke at all, then well, you need to tighten it a bit. The thing with GANS is that the tensions need to be perfect, otherwise you will have lockup issues. And the easiest way I have found out to tension the cube is initially getting all of the nuts to be flat with the screw. Once you are confident that you have a flat surface, do 2 wrist turns on each side. What I mean by wrist turn is insert the tensioning tool and turn it once. Now here you take out the tensioning tool and then place it back in and do another turn. This was just for demonstration purposes. Generally, you just turn twice with the tensioning tool. This is what I call the 2 wrist turns. Do 2 wrist turns on all of these sides and just check the tensions. If you think that the tensions are perfect, then you can stop here and put the caps back on. For me, I set my cube on medium tight tensions, so I will do 2 more wrist turns to see how the tensions feel. Now I see that 4 wrist turns actually make the cube too tight and it will lock up when I try to go fast. So I just do 1 wrist turn in the reverse direction. Now in my current state, we have done 3 wrist turns from the initial position, and these tensions are the perfect tensions for me. They are the medium tight tensions and they suit my turning style. Once you are content with your tensions, do the 45-degree corner cutting test just to see if your cube can corner cut 45 degrees with ease or not. If you feel that your cube is not corner cutting 45 degrees with ease, then you have to loosen the cube a bit. Lastly, put the caps back on and move the cube around so as to spread the lube inside the pieces evenly. Now that you are done with lubing and tensioning, just wipe the cube off of any lube that might be sticking on the surface. Now I would suggest you to do 30 to 50 solves, and after that your cube is competition ready. GANS setup is a bit different and tricky, but it isn't anything bad. I don't hate the GANS lubing system. It's just that it takes a lot of time and it's a big hassle. That's it from the setup video, guys. I hope I was not too fast and you understood everything. If you didn't understand anything, then you can take a look at my previous setup videos. That's it from the setup video, guys. Take care and bye.